A recent adjustment to our review process now requires that all books, including those on the study sync list, are vetted equally, which means they are read and approved by our Literature Review Committee, as reflected by the flowchart on the slide before you. Please feel free to follow along with me as I review each step briefly. We're going to start all the way over at the left. And really what that indicates is that any teacher requesting a book to be added to the core and extended reading list submits a form which makes their initial request known. The request is then reviewed by Cabinet prior to the next LRC, that is our Literature Review Committee, and I'll be referring to it as LRC and moving forward. At the LRC meeting, a presentation of the requested novels is given, providing a summary of each novel, including the rationale for why the teacher requested that particular book. The committee then votes to approve each novel to be piloted. If it is approved, two things happen next. The committee assigns readers for each book, and the books are then piloted. Next, pilot teachers will work on compiling their data and student feedback to share at the next LRC meeting. It's at that time that the data is reviewed and the committee votes on whether to approve the novel or not. If approved, the books are presented first to Curriculum Council and then to Cabinet for their final approval. If approved by Cabinet, we then take the next step. They are placed on 30-day public display prior to being brought forward for final board approval. Upon board approval, the novels will then be added to the core and extended reading list for teachers' future use. Please note that any parent or guardian who objects to the novel that their student is reading in class may request an alternative novel by submitting what we refer to as our opt-out novel request form to their teacher. If this is the case, an alternative assignment, which is very similar in length and rigor, will be assigned and completed by the student within that same class.
I feel like we need a stopgap between the staff, the committee reading it, and then it being piloted, just to say, hey, are we okay piloting this with the kids from the board's approval level? Does that make sense?
So you're requesting a step in the flow chart.
Or it would be from the parents' approval.
Yeah, I think we probably need to just make sure that we're saying, yes, we are okay. We, the five of us, are okay letting the kids pilot this book. I'm just asking for a step between at a board meeting with a vote to say, are we okay piloting this in the classroom? Are you interested in that?
I'm interested in it. Absolutely.
I'm interested.
I'm not requesting that. I think that putting it on 30-day review is that option to do that. I think if we're piloting it in the classroom, it definitely should have a note, go home to the parent saying we're piloting this book. This is the book. You can opt out if you like. But it's adding so much more initially for us to debate and go through that when it might not even get to that point. So I think it's stepping too far over before we even get to that pilot piece.